Good evening, everyone, and welcome, and thank you for joining us for the pop-up webinar to talk about our Trails End Popcorn fundraiser for 2020. With us this evening, we have Gary Rosenfeld and Vincent Price, both from Trails End, who are going to give us some inside information about the upcoming 2020 fundraiser and help us get our planning started for this fall's fundraiser. So again, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us this evening. And I'll turn it over to Gary and Vincent to take us through some information.
Okay. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate everyone's taking the time. I'm the Northeast Sales Manager for Trails End. I cover the whole Northeast region. Thank you for what you all do. I am a registered member with the Jersey Shore Council. And even though my son's not in scouting, I'm still active in scouts. And I was a popcorn colonel for 6 years. So I know how challenging the job can be at times. And most of our associates are involved with their own children in scouting, which is why our goal is to help simplify the campaign and make it easier for you. And I'll let Vincent tell us who he is and give his background.
My name is Vincent Price. I just finished my first year with Trails End, and I am the inside sales support for the Northeast region in Gary. And I'm also responsible for distribution as well as logistics. So I'm the guy that's going to make sure that the popcorn gets there on time and everyone's happy when show and sell time comes.
Okay. Thanks, Vincent. So what we wanted to do tonight is to go through a sneak peek. It's not the official kickoff per se. We're not getting into the details. Just want to give this group an overview of where we finished out the sale and some of the national programs that we rolled out and where we're going with it. So with Trails End, we've have over $4 billion raised for scouting since 1980. We've been partners with the BSA councils and units to help raise the funds needed, deliver the promise of scouting. We know that if you didn't need the money, you wouldn't be doing this. And everything we do is to help generate funds for the program. And we thank you for the opportunity to work with you. Always like to start off and recognize the top sellers. So these are our top sellers. So, you know, if we were doing a face-to-face meeting, I'd ask you to stand up and cheer and clap. So you could do that in your own home. And but as you can see, a pretty successful sale. You can see we have a lot of good units up there. Nationally, we had nearly 16,000 units that sold. And I'm glad to say that we have 2 of your units that are in our top 100. So Pack 613 was number 82 and Pack 173 was number 90. And this is out of about 16,000 units. So great job. Just want to give you some recognition. So this past season, what we did is we rolled out our national programs. We rolled out our new app. We introduced a new prize program, the rewards. Our online continues to grow, and we really ramped up our Facebook communities, and we'll touch upon what we're doing there as well. If you look at the app, the results from this past season, first year out, we had 74% adoption rate, which is not bad the first year. Over 14,000 units and 160,000 scouts used the app. Almost 9% growth for the units that recorded more than 75% of their sale through the app. The benefit of the app is its real-time sales reporting. Both the unit and the scout, you can see your storefronts. It helps minimize the returns and manage the inventory. With what's going on this year, there's a lot of uncertainty that the app, we think, is going to play a bigger role in our sale, being able to see in real time what's selling, how much inventory is out there. The scouts can accept credit cards at any time, anywhere, and Trails End is going to continue to pay those fees. We found with credit card sales, they average 20% more than what we see being done in cash sales. So what are we doing for 2020? We're making improvements to the app. We have a lot of feedback. A lot of leaders have emailed us and gone on our Facebook page. We've noted the recommendations, and you're going to see I've got some screenshots, talk about some of the changes. Overall, it's got to be easier to use. We're going to increase the communication through Facebook and our digital marketing. We want to try to get more people to use the app. We're going to increase the number of webinars available for the leaders. Last year, we offered 20 webinars. Our goal this year is to do 150 webinars. We think that the way we're doing this meeting tonight, this is going to be more of the norm. People are getting used to webinars and staying in. People may be a little reluctant to get out. So we want to make sure that we're going to provide you the tools and the training, and we'll have more webinars available. Trails In, we're going to continue to pay all the fees, and we're going to increase the number of square readers that are going out. So we were going to close to triple the number of readers that we have out in the field. Scouts that did 750 or more, they'll get a free reader from us, and units that are over 2,500 in sales will get a free reader and sales banner as well. So we want to make sure that we're providing people with more of the readers so they have the ability to take credit cards anytime, anywhere. And on our banners, we're going to have new banners for you, and it'll say we accept credit cards. It'll be a lot bolder, a lot easier for the consumers to see. So why is it so important to take credit cards? We know that most Americans just simply don't carry cash. And those that do carry cash, it's usually $20 or less. And they say it's only for emergencies. I really don't want to give up my last $20. But if you look at the analysis for your council, and you can see your council led the region as far as credit card, the amount of sales you made. You can see the average price per container is almost $20 when people are using a credit card. It's $2.27 higher when they use a credit card versus a cash sale. When you look at the cash sales, the small caramel, your $10 item, that is your number one seller. That's the least expensive item we have. But when it comes to the credit card sales, as you can see, that's number 5 on the list. So the most popular items are the $20 and $25 items. So we hear people all the time say product's too expensive. Well, it's not that it's too expensive. It's just how much cash do people want to get rid of? How much are they able to buy? If I'm only carrying $20, if that's all the money I have, I might be a little hesitant to spend it on popcorn. But with a credit card, people want to support the Scouts, and they're willing to do it at a higher dollar amount. So you can see it's pretty remarkable, the numbers. We think we're going to have, with more square readers, we're going to continue to increase the number of credit card sales that we have out in the field. So what are we going to do? Main thing is it has to be faster, easier, and simpler to use. That's going to be the main goal as we move into this coming season. So when you look at it, what are we doing? Well, you can see it's going to be rebuilt in Google Flutter. What does that mean? I really don't know. I have no idea what Google Flutter means. All I know, if we have any IT people, it's going to make things work a lot smoother and faster, especially for Android user. So it's a big investment on our end. We're going to do this, so it's going to make the transition and transactions that you're doing on it a lot easier. Things will be a lot smoother for you as leaders and the Scouts. The Scout registration, it's going to be quicker for your Scouts to register. And as far as the checkout, last year it was 9 clicks. It took 9 clicks from start to finish to check out for a consumer. That's too much. We're in a day and age, we're used to Amazon where it's 1 click and I'm done. So we're going to get it down to 4 clicks for the consumer. We're going to now incorporate our online selling platform into the app. So for those that have done the online selling, that's a different product mix. We have different items that is done through a different site. But now that's all going to go through the app, because our number one seller in the region, a young man out of Baltimore, the way he was selling is he would go door to door with the products in hand. And when he would go to the door, he would have his wagon filled with products, but then he would also pull up his e-commerce page. and tell consumers that he has coffee to sell, there's some chocolate, there's bundles, and they would sell. If a consumer said, well, I'd rather have some of the microwave that's in the cart, well, then they'd have to go into the app. So now that'll all be done through the same platform. So right from the app, where Scout can normally click on wagon sale storefront, they can sell online. So that's going to be an option. The storefront views, the reporting, it'll be a lot simpler and easier. The feedback from leaders is it took too many clicks. I couldn't find reports. They got frustrated. We're going to change that. Inventory control will be simpler, and we're going to detail the tracking for cash that's owed to the unit. So being able to track payments coming in, credit card sales are easy. You have the transaction. But when consumers are paying you with cash, we want to be able to track that better. And then reassociate the storefront orders between shifts. Managing scouts that work multiple shifts, it's just going to be a lot more user-friendly for you as a leader to manage the campaign as well as your scouts. Just to show you some screenshots, we want to make the website a little more intuitive. So this is shows you 2019, and you can see where if you had to go to a wagon sale, it just says click on wagon sale. Believe it or not, there are people that had a hard time finding it. So as you can see, everything is a lot cleaner. It's a lot more visible. And so if I had to go to a wagon sale, it's right here. If I want to see what the goals are, it's very visible. I can see what my storefront shifts are. I can see cash, credit card. So as you'll see, and again, we're going to be doing these webinars. These upgrades will be out on June 17th. The app is still live, but we'll have the webinars, and we're going to walk people through how all the new screens look. This is just a dummy screenshot. These aren't the products that we'll have for the fall, but you can see the products are highly visible. Last year, the pictures were very small. It was hard to make it out, and it's just a lot more user-friendly to the consumer as well as you as leaders. If anybody has any questions, feel free to bring them up on the chat. I know Derek will bring the questions up to me. So before we move on, we'll take a minute and ask anybody if they have any questions as it pertains to the app. Again, feel free to ask. Nope.
No questions so far, Gary.
Okay. So looking at the rewards program. So last year with the rewards, the benefit with the rewards program is that it was preferred by the scouts. 88% of the scouts said they preferred that over the current prize program. It just gave them more value and more choices, and it was quicker for them to get their prizes. They came in quicker than the physical prizes. The scouts, they're able to redeem their prizes right at Amazon.com. And it's all done right through the app. And the biggest thing that we found last year from the leaders is that it saved them a tremendous amount of time. And when I was a popcorn kernel, that was one of the biggest challenges, was ordering all the prizes. They came to my house. I had them all over the dining room table, trying to figure out who got what. Some kids never placed their order. Interesting enough, while we're all quarantined, I took the time to clean out my office. I actually found a prize that a scout never claimed, and I haven't been a popcorn kernel in about 7 years. So I think with the Amazon, when it goes right to the scouts page, they're going to claim it. They're going to redeem it. So I do have an extra prize in my office for somebody. The scouts, they're submitting it sooner, so most of our prizes were out to the scouts by the year end. And our plan going into 2020 is we're going to add 7 new prize levels. We're going to add more prizes for the scouts. We heard the gaps were too big, and we want to really reward the scouts. We're going to increase the value that the scouts are going to get with their cards. They're going to be released quicker. So when a leader would submit for prizes, we would go through it, verify it. It took 7 days. We're going to get that down to 4 or 5 days. The beauty of this program is, as leaders, when you're ready to submit the prize order and you've paid your bill, you can just go ahead and hit the submit. So if you've done your show and sell and maybe you did your take order, you filled all your product with leftover inventory, and you decide, it's the second week in October, we're done. We hit our goal. You can go ahead and order your prizes. Part of why the prizes went out earlier last year, the scouts, they certainly understand Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So the scouts would typically, they're done selling, they want their gift card because they want to go ahead and shop on Amazon. And with our program, there's no cap. So as you can see, this shows you the levels from last year. That's a copy of the brochure. And you can see the increased levels that we've added. So for example, last year, a scout that sold $1,500, it was a pretty big jump to get to that next level, going from 1,000, then they had to go to 15, then to 2,500. So what we've done is we've added all these new levels in here. And even at the high end, to jump from 10 to 15 was too big of a jump. And you can see the values going up. So for example, a scout that did $7,500 last year got a $550 card. This year, they're getting a $700 card. So on average, it's going to be about a 20% bump in the prizes that the kids will be earning. As I said, with the app, we've simplified it for the leaders. We've simplified it for the scouts when managing their storefront, their show and sell. The biggest complaint that we got when it came to the rewards from the scouts was it was too difficult. I had to try to find out, where do I go to claim my gift card? How much do I have in my account? And there's no reason why somebody should have to click on 2 or 3 buttons in order to find out what their rewards are. So these are some screenshots. And the first screen will show you how the scout will set their goal. So as you can see, a scout right across the top from their dashboard, they can click on what their goal is. So right now I've clicked on $1,000 and that's my goal. And now the system is going to say, you're going to get a $50 gift card. So it pops right up and it's easy for the scout. What we are going to add this year is there will be pictures of some physical prizes that we did last year in the app as well. So for example, I'm on my page and maybe I see a game console and say, wow, I really want that game console. I can click on that prize and then the app will establish the goal for the scout. It'll tell them how much they need to sell to get to that specific prize. The app is going to keep track of their sales. So in this screenshot, it says the scout is currently at $350 in sales. The next prize level is at $500, and the scout just has to sell another $150 to get to that next level. Once they get there, it'll prompt them to tell them how much they need to get to the next level, and it'll show them the value of gift card that they're going to receive. And then finally, to redeem it, it's very simple this year. Right on their front of their phone, as soon as they log in, if they have a gift card waiting for them. So let's just say a scout's earned that $50 gift card. Right on their dashboard, it's going to say, you have a $50 gift card, click here. Last year, they had to click down, drill down, and try to figure out what they had. So we think it's going to be more intuitive for the scouts. It's going to help motivate the scouts because they're going to be able to see it every time they log into the app. So with the rewards, what we've always said, the benefit of the Amazon program is that the scouts can just get whatever they want. And the trouble with the old prize program, you got to try to find prizes that's appealing to younger kids, older kids, boys and girls. So after the sale's over, we like to ask the scouts, well, what are some of the stuff that you bought with your Amazon gift card? And here's just a few of them. First one's my favorite, why I put it on the top. It's from one of our top selling scouts in the Midwest. And he put on our Facebook that he went out for his bedroom. He got a Lazy Boy recliner and a back massager. He says he was so tired from selling popcorn, he needed something to do to relax. The second one is the staff advisor, the assistant scout exec in Portland. That's her son. She said that in their house, they have a separate room where they her two sons have their gaming station, and they said they're tired of putting the game on pause, going to the kitchen. So they said we're going to get a refrigerator just to keep in our room. But as you can see, there's some pretty interesting stuff that people have bought. One sold his gift card to his parents because he wants the cash. And if you look at the fourth one down, I sense this might be from your council or maybe one of your neighboring councils, because looks like they use their Amazon stuff to buy some Patriots gear. So, but the whole idea is that they can just get whatever they want. They're not limited. And that's why we've upped the values. We want to make sure the kids are rewarded for all their hard work. So turning to the online, and again, if any questions, just feel free to pop up. We got a small group. We can answer anything. Online sales continues to grow for us. Northeast grew about 20%, and the average order is up compared to the traditional sale. Now, most of the orders are shipped outside the council service area because the benefit is, grandma lives in Florida, I can send her an email and I can ask her to buy to support the program. The average sale every time a scout shares their page is about $32 in sales. So what we encourage the scouts to do is when they share their page to send it out to their friends and family. And what we found is anytime they would share it, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, or on an email, it typically generates $32 in sales. The average sale per scout, $168, and that does count for the rewards program. We have a program going on for online sales now, and anything that they sell now in the spring, anything from January 1st will count for the rewards, and we're going to continue with our free shipping program. For 2020, again, we're going to keep pushing the free shipping because that seems to work well, and we're going to be promoting online selling year-round. So the whole benefit of the e-commerce site is the scouts can sell when it's convenient for them. We have a lot of scouts that have asked the ability to sell now. We know that people aren't allowed out, and there are a lot of units out there that maybe they've never done the popcorn sale, they've never done online because, they say we do a mulch sale, we do a car wash in the spring. Well, we're not allowed to do it this time, or we've lost our spring fundraiser. Are there other ways to sell? So it's just a good opportunity. And we're working on more promotional materials. So, again, with the whole coronavirus, we're not sure how many people, once we're allowed out, are going to be willing to go out. And we really think that we're going to see an increase in the amount of people that are selling online, people that still want to limit their face-to-face contact, that might decide, I want to just sell online so I don't have to go out in public. And so we're working on some plans. You'll see some more information from us that's going to really ramp up the online. A lot of our information is available on our Facebook page, and I'm going to turn it over to Vincent to share why it's important that you go on Facebook.
Vincent,
With our Facebook page, we wanted to create a community where it wasn't just an interaction with Trails In, but where scouting families and anyone involved with scouting could kind of go to interact with other people who sell across the nation. So in terms of our Facebook community, it's a great resource that unfortunately not a lot of people knew about. We just started it last year, and what we created was a safe space and where people could swap ideas, whether it's selling techniques, whether it's, hey, what kind of pitch do you use? What's the best route for my child to go in terms of trying to make that sale? How do I set up my product so that it doesn't fall over when I'm displaying it on the table? What ended up happening was that we had a lot of scouting families becoming friends, swapping ideas, swapping success stories, and it really grew into something that was not only positive, but was able to help everyone in terms of growing their sale. From a number standpoint, we had over 18,000 unit leaders and scouting parents as members. It was pretty awesome. Sometimes you get to just hop in and peek in there and see what the conversation is, see what's at the top of everyone's minds, and it was really cool. In terms of the families and scouting parents that joined the community, a lot of those guys saw growth from anywhere from 5% to 5.5%. So there was definitely some success there. During the sale, we had over 1,300 comments and also over 3,600 reactions made each day. In terms of the unit leaders and scout parents got real time practices and also were able to get answers from not only their peers, but Trails In as well. We have Sean Stanford, who's from our marketing team, who does a good job of hopping in there and answering questions every day. But he's only one person. So this year we wanted to make sure that we made major improvements so that we not only kind of took some of it off of Sean's plate, but also made sure that we could service everyone a lot better. To make the Facebook community more successful, we've increased not only our number of moderators and influencers, but we're also going to be doing more live events, which is geared toward creating more live interaction. It's also going to kind of give everyone that opportunity to hop on and speak to a real person and maybe not just post a question that you kind of have to wait a little bit on. And in addition to that, we're going to make sure that we increase the number of leaders and scout parents on the in our Facebook group by doing a better job with our digital marketing. As I said earlier, not a lot of people knew about it. So this year we want to make sure that everyone is aware that we not only have this great tool on here, but we also have this safe space where people can come in and just kind of interact and mingle a little bit. Another reason why we're adding more moderators is because that even though we have this space, we want to make sure that we're keeping it as a positive space. We know a lot of times with the popcorn sale, it can get difficult and sometimes there can be some frustrations. So we want to make sure that in those situations that even if someone has some questions or they're frustrated with something, it's not getting to a point where it becomes toxic and it kind of puts people down in terms of what's going on with the sale. But I think you guys are going to be really impressed with the interaction that you're going to get this year. And I encourage everyone to hop on and learn, because when you, just because something works in the Northeast, it may not work in the West and vice versa. There's so many different ways of doing the sale that if you interact with someone who's maybe not in your region, you may be able to pick up a technique or trick that you really weren't aware of.
Okay, before we get next slide, Derek, were there any questions? I see some questions. Have you answered them? Is there anything that anybody wants?
There are a few questions. Vincent answered a few of them in time typed out, but we do have a question. Will leaders have app-based access to manage the sale, or will it still be browser-based? And if it's browser-based, will that be mobile-friendly?
You can access it from your phone or your tablet, but because of the amount of information, we're still recommending that you do it from your desktop.
All right. Another question regarding the app. If scouts have not yet claimed their rewards from 2019, will they be able to access those in the new app?
What we wound up doing at the end of March, if there was a scout, anybody that had a reward out there, we sent it out to them. I would say everybody should have gotten it. If there's a question, just email us. If there's a specific scout, we can take that one-on-one. Everybody should have gotten it, because what we wound up doing is if anybody had a reward that maybe the scout didn't claim it, I guess let me ask this, is it something that it's still in the Scouts page, or was it not submitted by the leader? I guess I need a little more clarification. Let me just put it this way. If anything that a Scout was due and maybe a leader forgot to submit it, we released everything to the Scout. So if they have a reward, it's on their app and it's still available for them.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a specific problem, just please email us at support@trails-end. We'll make sure we get it taken care of. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yep, I think we can move on.
Okay. If you look at, part of why, we talk about these initiatives, our sale, we had a flat year, and in the programs we rolled out, we were monitoring every program. And as you will see, the units that participated in all of our programs, They were on Facebook, they used the app, were doing the rewards, and they were on one of our webinars. Their growth was about 16%. But you can see for your council where you outpaced the nation. So for your council, the units that participated in all 4 segments of our program grew 19%. The units that did everything but did not do a webinar grew 11%. And again, you can see your numbers far exceeded the national trend. For those units that did the webinar, grew 11.5%. We think this is really important. If you look at your numbers, your units grew 21%. So that is why we're going to be doing 150 webinars. We want to make sure that we have plenty of opportunity for folks to get on one of our webinars. And we will be coming out with an incentive program. So that'll be launched probably in a couple of weeks. We'll roll that out. So there'll be a chance for some units to get some Amazon gift cards just by attending one of our webinars, because we think it's so important that it'll have a return. For those units that use the app, nationally grew about 9%, your council 16. So we do know that's important. So, you know, what's tied in there? Using the app, maybe they use more credit cards. They probably got more yeses. They coordinated their inventory better. So there's a lot of things. And again, what we've always said about the app, there's a lot of functionality. You can use as much as the app as you want or as little as you want. If you just want to use it purely to take credit cards, you know, that's fine. And then again, the units that are on our Facebook page, as Vincent pointed out, it is a great, great tool. So, you know, typically if you have a question, you can go to our support. Our support, depending upon how crowded it is, the time of the year, they get a little crowded and backed up at times. But typically, with our Facebook group, if you have a question, you'll ask a question, you may wind up getting within a matter of a minute or two, you may get 10, 15 people that have an answer. I've been doing this a long time, and you know, I'm always picking up some new tips. And you know, as Vincent mentioned, Sean Stanford, who works for us, answers a lot of it. We do have a lot of volunteers. I think most of the time, every time I see something posted, I think your own Ted, I know he's on, he seems to answer most of them. So that just gives you the example, the power of the volunteer. You have a question, you'll get one of your peers getting on there to give you a response. And but part of why we're bringing on more people to help us out, we've got some folks that are willing to help out and be moderators on it. So with that, again, we wanted to keep this brief. This is a quick overview. More information will be coming out when we kick off the sale as far as the dates and the incentives. Here's my contact information as well as Vincent's. Feel free to take down our phone numbers and our email. As we get into the sale, if you have any questions, feel free at any time to give us a call or email us, and you know, we'll make sure that we get a copy of this out. The council has a copy of the presentation, and any of the slides, or if it's an app question, just feel free to reach out to us. We're here as a resource. We're here to help. And with that, if there's any questions, we'll open it up. If not, I'll turn it back over to Derek.
Great, thanks, Gary. Thanks, Vincent. We appreciate the update.
Thank you.
For the 2020 sale. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to put those in the Q&A now. As you see, Gary and Vincent's information is on the screen. I put in the chat the product sale at nhscouting.org contact email that you can reach out to us at the council office with any questions or ideas that you have. We'll again make the recording of this evening's webinar available for everyone to review at another time. And I will ask Gary to send a copy of the slide deck, and we'll post that so that you can go back and review that as well.
Derek, I do see a question about updates on the Leaders platform. It's basically going to have the same look to it. Just some of the changes, it's more of the reporting. The reporting is it's just going to be more reports, easier access. So not a huge change, just a little bit of tweaks here and there, but nothing real major.
All right. I see there was another question that just popped up, Gary, regarding the price for military donation, or will there be an option for food bank donation in the online sales?
Right. So right now, we did add last year, there is a
Miscellaneous.
military that a leader or a consumer can order whatever they want, as little as $1 or whatever. So they can do, because we know a lot of times people say, well, I don't know, it's a little price. I don't know if I have the money and all I got is $5 cash. They can put that right into the military. You can order as little as $1. We are doing this spring, our spring promo. We did add a food bank donation in there for the spring, and that spring promo runs through the end of May.
Very good.
You know, what's been suggested, what we're looking at, it came up today from another meeting we had about maybe doing something with some of the healthcare workers, doing something. So we're looking at it, not sure how we can handle it, but any recommendations, please bring it to us. If you go to Facebook, we get a lot of our ideas. So we're always looking to make changes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Gary. I think we've cleared out all of the questions. So thank you, everyone, for attending this evening. And I hope that we're able to give you a little insight to what's coming for 2020. We will soon be getting out details on our fundraiser kickoff for the fall and where we will be holding each of those kickoff events later in the year. So again, thanks everyone for your attendance, and we look forward to seeing you down the trail at one of our kickoff events soon. So thanks again, everyone, and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.